Student presentation, compare contrast. Topic. I will analyze the characteristics of two computers, their similarities and differences. I will try to explain some IT concepts in a basic way, highlighting how one computer, MSI, is more useful for tasks such as play games, heavy graphic processing such as digital image and video editing, or 3D rendering than Archer, useful instead for another basic purpose such as work with Excel file sheet, PowerPoint presentation, text processing, or to send email, to chat, to navigate in internet, to listening audio file or watching videos and so on. These are the two laptops I will be considering: Archer Aspire, MSI Katana 70. Item or aspect of the topic, I will compare, contrast, and simple definition. Display. The display is the screen that shows you images, text, and videos in a visual format. CPU, Central Processing Unit, is the brain that transforms input data into usable output by performing arithmetic, logic, and other operations. GPU is a specialized chip that handles graphic-intensive tasks like gaming, video editing, and 3D modeling by rendering images and videos on the screen. RAM, high-speed memory that stores the data the CPU needs for actively running applications and tasks. Think of it as a physical workspace. More RAM means a larger workspace, allowing the notebook to handle more tasks simultaneously without slowing down. Unlike storage devices like SSD for long-term data, RAM is volatile, means its contents are lost when the notebook is powered off. SSD, or solid-state drive, is a type of storage device that uses flash memory to store data, similar to USB flash drive. Unlike a traditional hard disk with moving parts, an SSD has no mechanical component, but only electronic component, resulting in significantly faster boot times, quicker program loading, more efficient multitasking, and increased durability and reliability against physical shock. Wi-Fi 6. Wi-Fi is built-in technology that uses radio waves to create a wireless connection to a local network and the internet, allowing you to use online services without needing a physical cable. Operating system is the core software in a notebook computer that manages its hardware and software resources, acting as a bridge between the users and the computer's physical component. It handles tasks like memory and file management, coordinating between the central processing unit, storage, and input-output device to ensure all program and function work together. Cost. Compare, contrast. Display. The diagonal of Archer Aspire 5 display is 50.6 inch with a ratio of 6:9, an useful display to daily tasks. The diagonal of MSI Katana 70 display instead is 70.3 inch with a ratio of 6:9. The result is a big screen to show images and video. FHD. This technical specification indicates that the perfect resolution to show images is 1920 by 1080 pixels with by 8. QHD. This technical specification indicates that the perfect resolution to show images is 2560 by 1440 pixels. This is a higher resolution handled with easy allows for sharper images. Refresh rate, measured in Hz, represents how many times per second your monitor can display a new image. Refresh rate of 60 Hz means that the display can show 60 distinct images each second. Refresh rate of 240 Hz means that the display can show 240 distinct images each second, a significant advantage when playing video games and watching videos. It means smoother display motion, and the video aren't jerky because the time it takes to display new images is greatly reduced. CPU. Both of the two laptops are built-in built with an Intel i7 processor, known for their high performance, which has more core, higher clock speed, and larger cache size, making it more powerful and faster. GPU. Intel Iris Xe graphics power laptops equipped with the latest i7 and i5 processor, offering an integrated solution that caters to various basic users' graphic needs. Intel Iris Xe graphics may suffice for casual gaming or older game title. On the other hand, NVIDIA's GeForce excels for large-scale, graphically demanding gaming applications, mainly due to its dedicated graphic card. If high-performance gaming and intensive graphic work are a priority, NVIDIA with its RTX series will be the ideal choice. As a high-end product, the NVIDIA GeForce RTX outperforms the Intel Iris Xe graphics in various benchmark tests, making an evident difference in the graphical performance. Although Intel Iris Xe graphics does not quite reach the RTX series in sheer performance, it makes up for this with lower energy use and a more affordable price point. Shared memory system of the Iris Xe. This means that the graphic card shares RAM memory with the computer. When it comes to video editing and other graphic-intensive tasks, the dedicated graphics card feature in NVIDIA GPUs provides an additional feature thanks to its independent dedicated GDDR7 RAM memory. Graphic card has its own RAM memory and Ampere architecture. This robust graphic card can handle any game, delivering remarkable frame rate in graphics-intensive situations. Requires a more powerful system to fully utilize its potential. Archer Raspberry 5 only has 8 GB of RAM memory, a rather limited capacity useful for carrying out basic tasks. Maximum 32 GB capacity. MSI Katana 70 has a 64 GB of RAM memory, a large capacity useful for carrying out more complex tasks. In fact, it can manage a larger amount of data at the same time. The RAM in DDR4 power regulation and management are integrated into the main board for the memory. DDR4 works with a voltage of 1.2 volt. DDR5, each module has its own power management integrated circuit. Thanks to this change, DDR5 memory requires less power. Work with a voltage of 1.1 volt. The downside is that despite the lower voltage, DDR5 module run hotter than DDR5 ones, so good cooling and dissipation technology is essential to achieve high performance. One of the main differences between DDR4 and DDR5 RAM module is speed and the form. Ultra Raspberry 5 has an SSD of 500 GB of permanent storage, a rather limited capacity useful for carry out basic tasks. MSI Katana 70 has an SSD of 1 TB of permanent storage, a larger capacity useful for store a larger amount of data, image, videos, audio, file, software, etc. Both laptops use two PCI Express SSD as mass storage. These storage devices are directly connected to the motherboard via connectors. The advantage is that signals are transmitted through circuits and not through wires, like with older hard drive, so data transfer is much faster. PCI H.5 PCI Express SSD has a relatively high data transmission speed. MSI Katana 70 PCI Express 4 SSD has a higher data transmission speed. Both Touch Raspberry 5 and MSI Katana 70 are equipped with the latest generation Wi-Fi 6 devices. Both Touch Raspberry 5 and MSI Katana 70 are equipped with the latest Microsoft Windows operating system version 11. The laptop's technical features highlight a limited processing power which justify a very low cost. MSI Katana 70 factors such as a larger monitor with a high resolution, the presence of a powerful dedicated graphic card with a large RAM memory capacity, the presence of a latest generation RAM memory bank and the large capacity of the latter, the presence of a latest generation SSD with a large storage capacity, which together guarantee a much higher processing power of the laptop, justify a higher price. Which item or aspect of the topic that you are comparing or contrasting do you prefer? I prefer the MSI Katana 70 because it has more processing power for complex tasks. Its large RAM and power processor allow me to use it for multitasking and virtualization, which means running another operating system in a virtual machine. The additional processing power of the graphic card also allow me to use this laptop for gaming and complex video processing, such as digital video and image editing and 3D modeling. It's more versatile and can be used for any purpose.